So can you just speak to Elizabeth's dominance and these records she set over the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, lucky enough I was there to witness it all, but it's, like she says, it's very surreal, and it's almost like when you're spectating, it's happening in slow motion, and that's the contrary to which she is. She's a phenomenal athlete. But I graduated shortly before Juan Ball did with these records in the 1, the 2, and the 4, and she's probably the most decorated athlete in Humboldt State's track and field history, meaning Juan Ball. So for Elizabeth to head us to come and, break the record in the 4 as well as the hurdles, it's just, we're in one of those moments. It's just, this is her window of opportunity, and she's taking advantage of that, and she's making her mark. So to be a part of that as a coach, as a head coach, I'm just so proud and of everyone. And I have to tip my hat off to Sarah Ingram, who's my assistant coach, who's coaching Elizabeth. She does all the hard work, and same with my throws coaches and everybody for that matter. We have 100 athletes on the team, and I can't do this alone. There's just no way. So when you get these specific groups that are being assisted with coaching, they're just doing their part, and they're part of the program, because it's just one person cannot do all this, not even close. So I'm just the one sitting here. I'm the lucky one. But my assistant coaches do quite a bit to help this program out, and we have for the last 5 to 6 years since I've been here. So being a former athlete of Humboldt State and recognizing everything over the last 30 years of what's been going on, this is a really good time for our track and field program, and I'm just proud of everyone. So that's what I'll do, is sit back and keep it going, and just keep things moving.
What do you anticipate for this meet coming up this weekend in Southern Oregon?
Southern Oregon, it's our last meet before we have conference championships, so we'll run at Southern Oregon. It's going to be a little bit lower key than what we experienced in Los Angeles, but that's okay. It's just going to be, and I mean that in a good way, we'll be competing against Southern Oregon schools, as well as some other schools that might be coming up there, some unattached runners, but we're going to bring our full teams up there, and we're going to just basically fine-tune and get ready for conference championships with our last-minute events that we'll be doing, and just kind of keying up on some things. Take the following weekend off, and then we head down to Los Angeles for conference championships at Cal State LA. But it's more of a prep, but we're still going to take it pretty seriously, so that's how we're going to approach it.
Can you tell me about Chianti Gigs?
Yes.
Just the accomplishments and kind of where he's headed.
Yeah, I mean, Chianti has just been a nice surprise to the program. He walks on, and here he is. It's like a gift. And Matthew, one of our SIDs, he hands me the top 10 list, and with updated, he let me know there's 22 changes that have happened in our top 10 this season. 22. And Chianti is now the new 200-meter record holder for Humboldt State. He ran a 21.2 at Cal State LA. He's fast. He's dangerous in a good way, and we had him interviewed last week, and he's just, he's the real deal. So he can run anywhere from the 100-meter dash all the way up to the 400, and he's just a very talented young athlete that we're just grateful to have. It's too bad it's a senior season, but for him to come out and run as well as he did, it's just, again, he's taken advantage of his opportunity here at Humboldt State, and he's done very well.
Switching gears a little bit, I know you're heavily involved. I see you at all the marathons, all the local runs, and everything. Where do things stand as far as recruiting local athletes to come join the team here at HSU, and how do you encourage that?
Yeah, I can't talk details about that, but it's always a great story, and we have some athletes that are local here that when I used to coach at Eureka High some time ago, so there's a little bit of that. I'm always pulling for it. I live here, and there's some really good talent here locally. And the problem always been is that we're in such a small county that you feel like, hey, if you're a conference or league champion here locally at the high school level, it's great. These are really good athletes. But sometimes when you go out of the area, you kind of get a sense of reality that there's a lot more out there. But what's kind of cool and neat to see is that these local high school athletes are doing well no matter where they go. And I can't name any names in respect to what they're going and things like that, but there are some really good local talented athletes here, and we're going to be getting some of those next year. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm just kind of proud that the whole system is working. I got my young son who's 13 years old. He's going to be running at Zane Junior High School, And it's just kind of neat that my son's running track, and I didn't push him into it either. He's just going to do it out of the love of running. But then you see that at the high school level, and then now you see it at the college level where I'm coaching. So community-wide, it's just really neat to see all that happening. You know, then you have post-collegiate clubs with Humboldt Track Club and Six Rivers Running Club, and it just seems like everything's going well, and it's just a good time right now for local sports, and especially for track and field. So I'm proud to be part of that.
Thank you, Coach. I really
Sure.
appreciate you taking the time.
Coach, one from me.
Yeah.
Elizabeth getting the CCAA Athlete of the Week award. That's the second one that we've had this year.
Yeah.
Just kind of talk about the significance of being recognized.
Well, you know what, as I say, it's we are such a competitive conference. The C2A is one of the best conferences in the country, and to have two of our athletes on separate occasions get that CC2A Athlete of the Week award is phenomenal for our program. It just shows their hard work and effort. Obviously, it's the byproduct of it all, but it's icing on the cake. It's just like Elizabeth says, it's all surreal. It's like I wake up very early in the morning and I feel good, and it's a good time to be a head coach right now. But having those kinds of accolades are only as good as what your athletes do, and all we can do as coaches is set that platform for them, give the opportunity, take them to competitive meets. But ultimately, we're so proud of Elizabeth. We're so proud of Ariel Oliver, Chianti Gigs. Just there's a lot of goodness coming out of our program right now, and it's just I can't say enough about it. But it's just the byproduct of them working so hard on every aspect of the sport. You know, not just running, but you know, weightlifting and nutrition and all the things that make up your program is what's being done. And so, like Liz said earlier, it really sets the bar for our program, and the other athletes can see what she's doing, and they feel they can do the same thing, and that's what makes a good program. And you know, again, I'm just the one sitting here, but they're the ones that are doing it, and I'm just so proud of them. So Elizabeth deserves that award. She worked very hard, and she's got 2 all-time best times in Humboldt State's history, as well as the number 2 in the 200. So, you know, we'll just take it for what it's worth, which is great, and we just move on and just go on to the next week and compare, you know, get ourselves ready for the month of May. So, thank you. Thanks for bringing it up.